friends, what's going on? This is Andy Irvine coming to you from my Daily Funk Club headquarters. I'm back home again after just returning from the Dallas International Guitar Show, which was a great time. And I was there with my friends from Hammersmith, and I got to pick up my new Hammersmith custom bass. I'm going to tell you all about it, and we're going to give it a listen. And I just want to, first of all, kind of really give a high compliment to Hammersmith right off the bat, because this is a custom bass, and I was kind of picky about the way that I wanted things to go on this instrument, and they were able to really deliver. So I'll just start going through the specs. First of all, it's their P model, P5. So it's a 5-string P bass essentially. You know, it's coming in the spirit of a P bass, obviously. But the big primary difference is that it has a sweet spot Nordstrand Bigman pickup, which is a dual coil pickup, put right in the place where typically a split coil P bass pickup would be. So that gives it a much more dimensional kind of multi-dimensional kind of sound possibilities. So looking at the electronics specifically, you have the Bigman pickup, and then we have a volume control. The volume control also acts as a series parallel switch. So when it's down, it's in parallel. When it's up, it's in series. Series is quite a bit louder than parallel. Parallel is a little bit slightly darker and maybe a little bit more rich and refined. Series is just like full-on balls, okay? The next control is the passive tone control, and it also acts as an active-passive switch, push-pull. And then in the back is a stacked bass and treble controls for the boost-only 2-band preamp. Okay, it's got this sparkle, super sparkle paint job on it that I love, green, with a matching headstock. The neck is a bound with the blocks on there, rosewood fingerboard and maple. Hammersmith finishes their necks in a satin finish, and it's really cozy and feels broken in nicely. It doesn't have the sticky lacquer feel. It has a silky kind of satiny kind of a feel. It's thin front to back, and obviously it's wider because it's a P, it's a P bass. It's a 5-string neck, but it's thin front to back, so it's not clubby. Right now the controls it's in parallel mode, and the EQ is completely turned off, and the tone's all the way up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch back and forth between parallel and series. Now series. Parallel. You know, for me, because I like to play hard with a lot of right-hand dynamics, when I play in the series mode, I have to ease up on my right hand because it's got so much output. That's the series. And parallel one more time. Okay, so now let's start messing around with the EQ a little bit. Like I said, it's boost only 2-band preamp. So when it's turned down, it's off. Now I'm going to start just bringing them in, bringing in treble and bass. This is with nothing. A little treble and a little bass. let's hear what it sounds like with a little bit of, I'm going to put it into series mode and hear it with some EQ. It's so in focus. That's the thing that I love about it so much, is that no matter where I go, no matter what I do on this instrument, because of the sweet spot placement of the pickup and because of the, you know, the EQ and just the basic kind of options within the electronics, it's all very focused. It's all very in focus. You know, because I play primarily rhythm and blues, soul music, funk, and Americana. Okay, that's what I do for a living as a musician. So my instruments need to do that best of all, right? That's what they need to do best. Now this bass, you could play anything on it, but it will, in the way that I, you know, my concept of the design of it was that it needed to be old school first and foremost, but then also be able to go to the new school kind of modern place. And that's what we accomplished perfectly between the people, you know, between Marco at Hammersmith and Kerry Nordstrand and Mo at Nordstrand. We were able to kind of everybody put their heads together and create that instrument that does the old school P bass thing and the new school in your face, complete balls over the top, you know, active P bass. It does both perfectly. You know, like if I, that's kind of like the metal that I know, which would be considered, you know, dinosaur metal, you know, new wave of British heavy metal, Steve Harris and stuff like that. But that kind of aggressive style, that galloping and everything like that, sounds so sweet on this bass. You know, and then in the same breath I can play slow blues. So it's kind of really, you know, satisfying and rewarding to have such great people to work with, you know, and I'm so happy to help out Hammersmith and show his stuff, show Marco's stuff here at the Daily Funk Club, because it's a new brand that's trying real hard to do things in their own way. You know, like for example, their bridge, they tool their own bridge, and it's kind of reminiscent of a Badass bridge, but they've cut the slots into it so you can top load it and do quick changes. And they've also incorporated using brass inserts with threaded brass inserts that go down into the body, so the wood screws don't just go into the wood, they go actually into an insert. You know, slight differences in body shapes and just some details, like for example, the truss rod adjustment is a you know, easily accessible rotary style, so you just pop something straight in there. You can make an adjustment in literally 2 seconds. You don't have to do anything. So that's a great convenience factor. And you know, the price point for something like this, you know, you get to pick all the specs that you want, you know, and you know, that's what makes them custom. And I can't really find anything about this instrument that I would have wanted to be different, or you know, everything about it just surpassed my my highest expectation. It has hip shot, really nice hip shot tuners on it, ultralight hip shot tuners on it. As far as weight goes, it's an alder body. As far as weight goes, I think it's about 8.5. Fine for me. I don't even like going any lower than that because it starts to not feel like a bass to me anymore. You know, I gotta have some weight. So there you have it, my brand new custom Hammersmith P5, and I think I've highlighted everything about it that you really need to know. Marco makes these instruments. He assembles them in Canada, and you know, you can reach out to him and he'll build you one. All right, I encourage you to check out Hammersmith and have fun out there. Rock on.